I used to be such a quiet child. Never said much. Tried to do what I was told. But there was always something I had a hard time doing back then, and even now. Living up to expectations. Ever since I was 5, I was given opportunities to perform in dance, voice, and instrumental during family and cultural events. They eventually contributed in my anxiety towards performance. There was always pressure to measure up against everyone. They say the pressure is supposed to motivate you, but what happens when instead the pressure eats you up? This is my story. As a child, I was never taught about mental health. Instead, I was taught expectations. I love my parents very much, and I thank them for the opportunities they have provided me. But sometimes, I feel like they wanted me to be something I just wasn't ready to be. My mom would say, I need to be like my cousins. My dad would say, I could sing, just not well. Even society would define me by my mistakes. Comments like, you're flat, you're offbeat, you have no vibrato, you don't know your notes. Comparing myself to my friends only made me feel worse about myself. The negative feedback fed the anxiety. And like the quiet child I was, I took in all the criticisms. And it became a part of me. Junior year of high school came along, and I was revisited by my anxiety. I was anxious on making deadlines. In response to avoiding the anxiety, I passed in less work and wasn't engaging in the class material. I was no longer the high-achieving child my parents expected of me. And then it followed me into college. Fall semester of sophomore year, I took chemistry. During the second test, I found that I couldn't do any of it, so I cried and cried. I thought it was me. I thought anxiety was a passing thing like stress, but it's much more complicated than that. Then it said hello again in spring 2015. I told my advisor that I was switching over to social science. He didn't have much to say. So afterwards, I found myself in a nice grassy area and had my first mental breakdown. Tears felt endless. I felt worthless. I had no direction. The only company I had was my anxiety. I've thought of jumping off windows and bridges to avoid the anxiety, to avoid failing myself and my parents. I just couldn't understand why school was so hard for me. All I knew is that I didn't want my parents to keep watching me struggle with my school problems and my anxiety. So I started not coming home most nights, and eventually moved out. I closed myself off from telling them about my education because I didn't think they'd understand my mental health. All the counseling I went through, the times I cried myself to sleep, the constant anxiety from deadlines, from doing the schoolwork, from talking in class, reaching out to my professors. My anxiety was a wall that I didn't have the strength to climb over. I eventually found myself again with the help of friends from the Filipinx club Hoy Pinoy. They helped me reconnect to a culture that I grew so accustomed to performing in. Instead, I found myself dancing and singing for the club, but not just for an audience anymore. For me, for recovery, for my own strength and skill. And then I found my second home on campus with the welcoming Faculty of Asian American Studies. They taught me how to stay grounded in my education and my cultural identity. I have anxiety, but I can confidently say that it no longer runs my life. I'd like to sing the song for my parents. Sana'y iyon marinig, tibot ng damdamin. Ika'y mahalaga sa akin, ang uwitin ko'y iyong tingin. Ako marinig ang panalangin, lagi kang naroon, humihiling ng pagkakataon. Masabi ko sa'yo ng harapan. Gaano kita kailangan, ang uwitin ito'y para sa'yo. that's the one.
I messed up.
I know I haven't felt like the daughter you wanted me to be. But that's okay, because I'm trying to be the person that I want to be. And that person will make you proud.